Dave Lorenz on Travel Michigan with you this week, and we are very pleased as our final guest of this program to introduce you to Patricia Mouradian. She is president of the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. And boy, I got to tell you, Patricia, you folks have hosted so many great, traveling shows and temporary exhibits over the years to add to your permanent collection and special things you get to see at the Henry Ford all the time. But you've really put together a big show this time.
It's very big. It's the Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
So we're very happy, and thanks for having me on the show. We're very happy to have this exhibit and bring it to the Detroit area.
Well, it's really a fantastic exhibit. Of course, everybody's so fascinated with the story of the Titanic and such, but it's quite a feather in your cap. You get this Titanic exhibit, the largest touring exhibition of the Titanic yet. You get this on a huge anniversary.
It's the 100-year anniversary of the sailing and the sinking, and so this exhibition is the largest they've put together. It's officially entitled Titanic: The Artifact Exhibition, and it's commemorating that ill-fated voyage 100 years ago.
It is such a I don't know. It's just an awesome story. It's truly almost hard to believe what really happened on April 15th, 1912. And we get to, because of some scientists who were able to find the Titanic, we get to see pieces of that historic cruise that are still left today.
Well, and what's so interesting is the Titanic has always held a fascination for so many people, even of the day when when they built the ship. Everyone was very fascinated with the ship, the size and the capacity and what it was capable of doing. I think people were just stunned and shocked when it did hit an iceberg and sink, and that fascination continues for 100 years. I remember very young. I was 12 years old, just flipping the channels one time, and back then there weren't a lot of channels to flip. But I came across one of the early versions of the movie called The Titanic, and I remember being riveted at a very early age watching that, and that was before the ship was discovered.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I have similar memories, and one memory I have is actually reading National Geographic one time after the ship was discovered, and learning about what they had found and what the ship's position was in the water or on the bottom of the ocean and all this.
Right.
And thinking, well, it's kind of a shame. One of those great mysteries in life has been solved. It's almost a shame that it was found.
Well, it brought to light, I think, a lot of interesting artifacts and a lot of stories, and I think the way this exhibit is put together will really it really honors the people who built the ship and honors the people who were on the ship and those who lost their lives and those who did not lose their lives in a way that I think makes it very special for everybody. And so when people come to this exhibit, they actually will upon entering, they are quickly drawn back to that time in 1912 because you receive, each visitor will receive a replica boarding pass of an actual passenger that was aboard the Titanic. And you begin the chronological journey, and you travel through the life of the Titanic, from literally the ship's construction to its onboard passengers to the whole ill-fated voyage and the amazing artifact rescue that involved divers returning to it even in recent years. So, I think people will really have a real sense of feel and understanding of what happened. And we learn from the past. And so by putting this kind of exhibition together, it might satisfy in some a curiosity, and in others it may be a lesson of what to learn from things that happened in the past and how to be better prepared for certain things.
Well, I have seen the exhibition. I thought it was just fantastic, and as you described, very respectful of the fact that a lot of people lost their lives. Right. Something like 1,500 people lost their lives that night.
Right.
And and I think that with these types of incidents, these things can be commercialized and maybe abused, but this has been handled very, very sensibly and with sensitivity, and I think that speaks very highly of not only the folks who put the kind of the traveling exhibit together, but of course of the Henry Ford. You guys do such a fantastic job with all your exhibitions.
Well, thank you so much. And this is no different. Because of the sheer size and magnitude of this, we actually had to reconstruct an area, a portion of our museum to fit the exhibition in the right kind of flow for guests. So I think people won't be disappointed, that's for sure. And I hope everyone keeps in mind that while parts and pieces of this exhibition have traveled around for many years, this is the first time that this exhibition has been put together in its current formation and size and scale, and there will be some things that haven't been seen in other exhibitions. So I think it's new. It is newly redesigned. It's 10,000 square feet. It features more than 300 artifacts, 250 which have never been displayed in Michigan before, and you'll get to walk through. Visitors will walk through extensive room recreations. They'll be able to have their photos taken near a full-scale replica of the grand staircase. So I think there'll even be opportunity, or there are opportunities for people to learn about passengers that were on board who have local ties to Michigan.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So that's a nice little touch.
Of course, these things you always want to know. It's one thing when you see the things of history, the pieces of history.
Right.
But what the Henry Ford does that no other place in the country I'm aware of does this way is you tell the backstories. You tell the stories of the people who were involved with these pieces of history. It's just a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. And it's so important as we study history in general for people to understand the context of what happened in the past. So it's much more than a timeline and a date or a name of a person. There's so much more life to these past happenings and events that occurs, and to give them that context really helps to give people an understanding that then they can carry forward, and it informs their present, and it might just inspire a better kind of future. And that's really why we do what we do as a history museum.
Now, there are some events that you have associated with the exhibition, and I know some of them are already, booked up, sold out and such.
They are sold out, which is exciting, but the exhibit is not, of course, and so we want everybody to come. And we have a lot of activities that are connected to the Titanic that are still open and available. So some lectures on various days. The best thing to do is to go to our website at www.thehenryford.org and look for a schedule of activities. But definitely, I want everyone who wants to come to this exhibition to go online and book your ticket, because they're timed tickets, they're time slots. That's how popular this is, and so you need to reserve your time slot, and you can do that all online. Yeah.
Now, you of course, will have packages available, might include hotels, and then, of course, the ticketing available all on the website.
Right. And members of the Henry Ford can buy their ticket to the Titanic just for $10. If you're a non-member, ticket pricing starts around $22.50, which gives you access into the museum and the Titanic exhibition. But again, all of that is online, or you can call our guest service number, which is 313-982-6001.
Fantastic. Thank you, Patricia Mouradian, president of the Henry Ford Museum. The Titanic, the Artifact exhibition going on now through September 30th. You will want to see this. Of course, Greenfield Village opens up in just a week, too, so check it all out right now. Well, that's about all the time we have on the Travel Michigan program for this week. Already can't wait to talk to you next week, so be listening. We'll be bringing you some more fantastic guests and recommendations and places to go right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at michigan.org.